Market conditions shifting back to bearish in a bull market, although that move yesterday, even though we gapped lower, we ended up trading a little bit higher. We'll look at that chart here shortly. We are seeing momentum solidly back in this bearish trend zone. We've talked about this when we see those ranges going from extreme back up into the trending location. And in this case, we'll want to watch to see is if we start to move back this other direction, if we start to play inside of this range now instead of this uptrend range where we go from buy to the extreme back into the zone when we retrace back. Okay, so right now we're watching to see now that we've rallied back up still into this downtrend, if we end up getting that reversal on markets right here. That's what we're going to be watching for, if these resistance and support areas are going to hold. Breadth's strengthening slightly, but stuck right here in this middle of that trend. Sentiment also in the upper end, extreme end of that range. Buy-sell ratio, we saw a little bit of a blip back up to the negative side here. We're sitting at 0.3, so less than 1 still on buy-sell ratio, which is not conducive for stock buying overall, and that's one of the indicators to be focused on for current market bias is to utilize buy-sell ratio. We're also seeing sentiment here. If we want to watch this and see, as we rally back up, now we're going to want to watch to see if we run into the resistance side of this line as well. So we have some range here, some potential upside. And in fact, if we take a look at the indices, if we look at S&P 500, this actually was an up day right here. It's solid. You can see if we switch this over, it's this white candle. So it was an up day. We gapped lower right in this support area, and then we continue to trade higher. So we'll see if we get a confirmation move back up and to retest this 506 or maybe even this, that 510 range, but some upside resistance. Those would be the levels I'd be watching for on SPY as we rally up to see if we're going to run into some resistance here. Triple Qs a little bit weaker here, but still some, a good bullish day yesterday. If we can hold this support level, we've got some resistance across the board, though. We've got resistance happening here. Okay, we now have resistance happening. You can see these price points that are all connected right around 424 on NASDAQ 100, which is the triple Q. So overhead resistance, again, this is going to be the big one right here early in this trend where we're kind of topping out this pattern to see if we can find some support and get back up above these levels, or if we start to roll back down. If we start to roll back down and start to break through some of these lows, it's going to take some time for the market to get some momentum back again. It's just really losing steam right here. Let's look at the Dow. We're seeing a Dow, really similar performance. Dow has been the strongest right here, but still solidly in that downtrend, just counter trending. That's going to be, again, the question here, if we can rally up, run into that resistance area. Let's look at bonds. We haven't looked at those for a couple of days. Let me switch back here. We're still in that downtrend on bonds, continuing to see bond prices moving lower. That means interest rates are moving higher. That trend has got to reverse itself for the Fed and the inflation and everything that we've been dealing with the last 24 months to really start to resolve itself. We'll see if we get any movement on that today. If we take a look at sectors, the overall sectors list, we did see a little bit of strength here. We've got two that are back into buy signals or uptrends, but they're consumer goods and utilities, both defensive plays. So you're definitely seeing utilities, consumers, energy to the upside. Those are all defensive plays. You're seeing all of these interest rate sensitive, real estate, healthcare, a lot of things that are continuing to move lower here. So sectors across the board still looking also bearish, giving additional confirmation to that, direction alerts and buy-sell ratio. Commodities, we're seeing oil continuing to find strength right here, up 1% yesterday. You can see that support range, a possibility for a breakout above. You can see this resistance right here around 80. If it closes back up above that, this retracement, finding some support, it may gain some momentum here in the shorter term. We're seeing gold and silver both also retracing and finding support at that 236 level, right around that 214. Keep an eye on all of these gold, silver, oil stocks. Even though they're retracing, it's a really strong uptrend. So this is actually a good thing to be accumulating watch list stocks for any kind of move back higher in gold, silver, and oil. We've also added in copper into that list as well. If it's showing up right here, this bottom one right here, ICOP. So we can keep an eye on copper prices as well. Very similar to you're seeing gold, oil, and silver and copper all moving strongly. Those basic materials and metals, mining stocks are continuing to work. If we take a look at the new buy list here in the muscle stocks group, we are seeing natural resource stocks starting to pop here. Mining, top of the list, AM. We're also seeing Royal Caribbean, which is continuing to have a nice uptrend here, back up into the buy zone. TAL, which is an education stock, and also getting some confirmation there. A little bit deeper into that retracement zone. And Wingstop, some interesting trades here. Wingstop, WING. Attempted confirmation breakout there as well. So a nice list of stocks. Market conditions are strengthening slightly, but still in that overall shorter term downtrend to be aware of. And that's what we're looking at going into this Friday. Everyone have a fantastic day today.